Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode here in Transport Fever 2 of our Tracks Only series. Now, I already have a plan for this episode, which we spoke about in last episode, which is to finish the oil to goods situation. So from this oil refinery over here to the chemicals plant, and then down here into the Seven Oaks goods factory. And if we have time this episode, I would also like to either start or completely finish producing more food to put onto the freight main line when we extend it down here to Mexborough, which will be taking these fisheries here over to this meat processing plant, and then finally finishing here at the food plant, where you turn 2 meat into 1 food. No, 1 meat into 2 foods. You take 2 fish, turn them into 1 meat, then here, turn it back into 2 food, and then you can take it down to Mexborough. Seems like a pretty solid plan to me. So I think, without further ado, there's not really much we should be waiting for. We're going to hop straight into getting on with producing some oil. We're going to go narrow terminals, 1 terminal. We're going to go on the ground. Fence it, gravel, higher capacity. Yeah, we'll give it lights. Might as well give it some lights. And I'm going to hook this in. Can I change the... Yes, I can. Country old. Give it some nice dirt tracks like that. That looks nice. Oh, that looks sensible, normal. I don't know. Don't know what you want to, how you want to say that, but looks as it should. And we're going to extend this road off out of Mexborough, so that way we can hook up a tram link. And I'm going to follow the terrain a bit more. Don't want to be making massive gouges and growths in the terrain. Go something more like that, a little bit more sensible. Again, we're going to go flip this around. Hook this in like that, and then it's got to get over here to the Seven Oaks goods factory somehow. Seven Oaks isn't connected by road to any other town really, so I reckon we run a road, we run a path. It is a road technically, but it's gravel. It's a gravel road. We run it up this way, up and over this section of tunnel. Ooh, not like that. Like this. And then run it alongside the track. Make it look like the track has been put in, like the railway has been put in where a road used to go. Which is not at all how it was, because obviously the railroad came first here, but this road is being put in for convenience of transporting goods. And to there. There we go. Now, we're going to go with no catenaries, because we don't have a need for them. We want to go down to here. I'm going to take out that bit, because I want to make it a little bit smoother. And there you go, that's all connected up. We're going to go yes on the tram tracks. Flow that in a bit better. There you go. And then we're going to put in a station at this end, like so. So stuff will come from here. We're going to get oil up to here to make plastics, plastics down here to make goods. So I'm going to do this in 2 separate sections actually. So I'm going to come into here, we go low on the platforms, and we're going to go 2 tram terminals. 2 terminals. There you go, that works. So first one, from here to here, will be road tram freight. Oil to plastic, 1. And given it's a plastic, we're going to try and go plastic colour-ish, which is kind of like a purpley colour like that. And we're going to do the same thing this end of plastics to goods. Road tram freight, plastic to goods, 1. So it's goods, plural. No, that's 9. Goods, plural. Like so. Go to the tram depot. Hook up. We're going to go with some 4s to start with. Just a couple of 4s, like that. Missing tram tracks. Why are we missing tram tracks? Missing tram tracks to actually get down to that station. Yeah, that would help if we put some in. And then we're also missing tram tracks out to here. So we want to try and give this the most direct route through town as we can, which is practically impossible with the way we have things set up. Is it going to kill the entire town for me to through a road like that? Straighten it, curve it. Curve it like that, we destroy 2 buildings. It's not horrible. So I'm going to do that. And then, yeah, that makes that a little bit smoother. So again, there you go. And then we're going to go back up and get just a single one of these for now. And then go plastics to goods. Which is pretty much the whole link done. Obviously we can increase the rates if needed, but I doubt we will. 33 there, 38 there, pretty similar. Something I did want to get done this episode. Well, actually we've done that. That was a nice quick link. I also want to connect up to Ride over here though. Because Ride is going to be kind of like Mexborough. Mexborough is the bottom of a long line of passenger network. I want to do like a shuttle service between these 2 towns. So you get off a train, take a tram, get back on another train that then goes up the next peninsula. So we're going to actually hook up the passenger network into Ride first before we do anything else. Electric trams, obviously. Electric trams seem to be the way of the future right now. And we're going to do something similar over here in Mexborough. And I am going to actually not care about demolishing houses right now and put it in there. So 1, 2, so we go 1 here. Needs electrification. There you go. And then 6. And then down here. So we're going to go platforms 4 and platform 3. No. Yeah, platform 3 and platform 4 for these. Go on the outside terminals. And then the tram out to Rye will take the middle terminal. No need to have 2 terminals to go out here, but not really sure what else to do with that other terminal. So I'm going to redo this section of road though, because there's no need for it to be this wavy. And street, country, electric. Just do a nice straight road like that. And then bring that in like that. Perfect. So, tram tracks, catenaries, yes. We're going to go kind of just do an outer loop of Rye. Well, I'm going to come down this street when we come back. So something like that will be the origins of the Rye tram network. And then just one more stop there. And I'm going to bring a depot out here as well, because I can already anticipate there being a lot going on over here. Industry seems to be mostly in this area, so I'm actually going to link the tram depot in over here. It's a little bit off the path, but works well enough. So, road tram passenger ride counterclockwise loop with capital L. And then same thing in the other direction. So a ride clockwise loop. Road tram passenger ride clockwise loop. And then paint it or color it in that same color. We're going to sort out the platforms. So we want platform 3 and platform 4 for the external. And then do the link between Mexborough to Ride. Tram passenger Mexborough to Ride. And color it in the color it should be, which is that color. Got to turn off that weird looking eye thing. I don't know how you describe it other than it lets you see what lines you can see that are right in front of you. So paint these in that color. One on that one on that one. No, I just put all 3 onto the other line. We're going to take these, paint in that color, which is pretty much the color they already are, and then put them on that line. So we have a lot of capacity for going between towns, but not a lot going around the town, but that's fine. So, now the long thing. Connecting the fish to the meat to the food. I'm going to start with the closer one, and then when we have the money, we can progress to the further one. Doing a similar thing, we're going to go with ground terminal, 1 station entrance, fence, gravel. All of that looks right. And then do that. We're going to go no catenaries. Because again, it's freight, it's also steam, so we don't need catenaries. We're going to want them here, here, and over here. Then I'm going to do low terminal type. And change this to country old. No, country new, sorry. To hook these in. So one there. That's the wrong place. Need it over at this place. Go down to here. Yep. And then that actually probably wants to be 2 terminals. Because actually, does it want to be 2 terminals? No, it doesn't. It doesn't want to be 2 terminals. It wants to be 1. Because if we do 2 terminals, and it brings food, it brings the fish in, which turns to 1, and then it goes out over here and turns back into 2 food. Yeah. Use the same trams for the whole line, because then I can kind of work out. Well, it will always be balanced. So this will be road tram freight, fish to meat to food 1. Yep. That works. Although now that I'm thinking about that, it ain't gonna work. Because I've got 2 lines worth of fish coming in. Which means you're gonna have 1 line's worth of food, of meat, which means you're gonna have 2 lines worth of food. That's not gonna work. Unless I just stick with 1 load of fish for right now. And bring in that other load of fish when convenient, I guess. Either way, fish, meat, and food can all be taken by these. So I'm actually going to go get 2 of those, make them the lightest blue, and throw them there. How are we doing for time this episode? We're only 12 minutes in. Nearly 13. So actually we've got plenty of time for what? I'm not quite sure right now. But for something. Possibly expanding the freight main line could be a very good shout, actually. Yeah, expand the freight main line. Bring it all the way down here to Mexborough. And we're going to do a similar thing. So Mexborough would then have a connection over to Ryde. But I want the freight terminal being outside of town. I don't want the freight terminal getting in the way of everything else. So we're going to go like here, and then what was that? Was that 320 I did on? No, I did do a 160 there. Okay. Stick with 160. It's going to end up being something over here-ish. Where's semi-flat? Definitely none of that. Might bring it down to the riverbank. Yeah, bring it down to the river. Actually, link this out to 150. If we were to do something like this, I could boat it over to Ryde. But do we let boats? You know, that'll be a vote I have down in the comments of this video. A vote you guys can have down in the comments of this video. Do we let boats into this series? Because you kind of have to be, because they're on predefined tracks per se. They can't go elsewhere. They're stuck, like, on the water. They can't go anywhere else. So for that reason, do we let boats in? I'm tempted to say yes, but I want to hear from you guys before I make a decision on that. But either way, this is actually a pretty good terminal. But can you get a road connection off of this? I would hope so. I can snap a road to it, so I'd say you probably can get a road connection. Yeah, pretty good one as well. Just like that. So, is this... These two are both connected? Yeah, perfect. So then we're going to curve this, and link it into up here. 10,000. No catenaries. Because we're also going to link this straight into this side. It's expensive. Narrow road? Narrow road doesn't do anything. So, you know what, we're just going to go straight like that. And actually, given where it is, proximity to town, just turn it into a town track like that. Double slip switch that, and that's already crossovers. Signals like that. So trains can come in. Actually, I don't think boats can hook up to this. This looks like a boat connection, but I don't think it actually is a boat connection. Could I hook a boat up to this? I can hook trains up to it, but I don't think I can hook a boat up to that. Where's the boat version? The boat version work as a boat train combination terminal. No, it only works as a boat terminal. What? So I can hook trains up to one, I can hook up boats to the other, but I can't hook them both up to each other. What? Quayside station, offset berth. Quayside berth. What? Range tracks, sort of dockside, but you can't. So I'd have to hook both of these together. You can't hook both of them together because they don't go together. What? Well, it can look aesthetic. Aesthetics wise, it can look like it does that, but it doesn't do that, I guess. Which seems stupid, but that's just how this works, I guess. Apparently, the 150 meter terminal, which actually means that these crossovers will have to be pushed back because these are 160 meter trains, I think. Actually, let me double check that. How long is our mainline train? Yeah, 160 meter train. Which means I'm going to want to push these crossovers a little bit. Or actually, you can just push back the crossover and leave that second switch. Yeah, do something like that. That's plenty of space for a 160 meter train to come in, terminate, turn around, go back out. We'll have a freight connection to Mexborough, mostly for mail for right now, until we get goods actually online. But right now, all we need is what's the word? What am I thinking? Right now, all we need is money. We need money, and we're going to connect mail up. I do love the look of this station, though. Like, look at that. That looks like such a nice building. Same with Sevenoaks Station, if I remember rightly. We did a white one, didn't we? Yes, this looks lovely. No, I'll wait for some money. Put it onto one-time speed. We could also do some decorative stuff around here, I think. I might actually have to go download some more decorative assets, because most of these are modern assets here. These are all modern assets. Or just some basic stuff. We got an engine shed, turntable, side building. None of this is really stuff you'd want to just kind of have here. What's this? Manchester Metrolink crossing. What? Platform pieces. Retaining walls, fence. Bunch of trains and stuff, sound barriers, retaining walls, some cycle racks, gate platform, tactile paving, some steps, some platform spikes, a lot of decorative stuff, just some hedges. Slope, hedgerow side, gate closed. I don't want a gate right now, I want Just some nice hedges, I guess. Just a nice hedge down each side of the station for right now. Just do some small decorative stuff. Try and run a hedge maybe down the back of here. Look at this. If I do this and have a look at it. Run a hedge all the way down to around about here. And then back across, like so. That looks pretty much encircle the station in a hedge. This side looks quite nice. Being on the platform feels quite cozy. Wooden fences, some stone walls. Here's some telegraph lines, just because. Not sure why you need them, but oh yeah, can't afford them. We are very down on money right now. None of these trains are going to be running low on money. The crude oil line is losing money right now, but that will resolve once it ends up at the other end of the line. It's only just getting into, just coming out of that end of the line. Although we have some money again. Put it back onto 1x speed while we continue decorating Sevenoaks. So we're going to do a telegraph pole line. It kind of comes out of the building. Kind of like this, crosses the street, and it kind of runs just up into town. It's going to end somewhere in town because it's not really got anywhere to go, but just bring it up to here. Makes it look like the station is more connected to everything going on than it is. The telegraph pole's just trying to end here, but that's not important. The important part is it looks like it's connected now. We've got a telegraph pole that runs up into town. Relay some messages to people in town, I guess. Where's one of these trains? 5 mil. Okay, I guess we're not buying another one anytime soon. They got mediocre power as well. What are these trams doing? I think they're doing pretty good for themselves. Both lines are probably making some money. Yeah, both lines are making an alright amount of money. It's pretty good. Train's off. I could just get some trees in here again, just like I did in Southend. Just get a couple of trees around. Got a tree here, a tree there. Got a nice little apple tree in the middle. With a few of these. Something slightly different this side. Apple tree off to the side. Slightly bigger trees there. Good space between the station and the road. Maybe a tree here and a tree here, maybe? That looks kind of nice. Waiting for all this area to build in, really, but there's only so much I can do with the assets that I've got right now. Ooh. Brick wall. This could look kind of like a little bit like a bus shelter, I guess. I need like an invisible bus stop though. I don't think I have any like special invisible bus stops, do I? No, not really. So maybe not. That's the tube. Rocks. Signs and stuff. This is all modern stuff, I think. I mean, this isn't, but this is kind of, those are the kind of things that you'd see. What the hell? B&Q, a Wix's, a home retail, home base. All those things are not stuff you wouldn't see, especially not in 1892. Something like this could definitely decorate the houses, but I feel like it's better if I let them scale. Oh wait, it says population. Hang on, if I was to put like building here. Population on, but I don't know what the population is of that, so I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna not use buildings like that. I don't want to build my own town. I want the town to generate naturally. Which means I think all of these are going to be kind of... I've got riverboats. That's kind of nice. No. This is all Metrolink mods, I guess. UK industry, commercial buildings. US station building. US station car park building. Don't need a car park. Cargo shed, cargo stuff, doors. Yeah, these are all kind of like industry decorative stuff. Like the trains or the fake platforms. Could always do that kind of stuff, like have like a little siding, like, yeah, actually we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that here. Make this be 10-mile-an-hour track. I'm gonna stack this out a little bit. So I can get a nice straight track that's kind of lined up. Back at the station. Just for some decorative purposes, really. Have that come out like that. Is it going to come out and across? Run one more track and then have that come out of there. Come out from through the trees like this. Give me a reason to put some more switches down, some signals down as well. And like that. And like this. And then we could just put some some decoration stuff here. Do I have any passenger cars? I don't know if I do. Or modern stuff. Coal miney stuff. Do I have any passenger cars? No. No idea what those are. Market, trains, other stuff. Buildings, signs. There's for me some passenger cars somewhere. Maybe they're in here. Brake vans. Aha, here they are. If we were to go... What are we running? Brown and cream, I think. Yeah, brown and cream. We have to throw some just brown and green cars. Aged. Third class. Break end. Okay, those are way too aged. No. We could go with new ones. Couple of first class cars in there. Get a third class or two. Get a brake van. Something like that. Although those aren't lined up with the way the terrain goes, because the terrain kind of sags that way, but... Well, look at that. It's like a nice collection of just some cars on the sidings. And then, you know what, we're going to throw a group of freight cars together, because why not? A couple of empties. Random and random? Nah. We'll go empty on those. 16 cars worth. Then if we actually take this track, do something like this. What the hell? Okay, I guess don't do something like that because that just goes off a sheer drop, but it's kind of like that flat. Push it back like this. Then if we go with kind of where's that Gosport? Where's Gosport gone? Or actually, we could probably just work with this actually. Full panels. Full panels, and then throw just a loco in there. Or loco or 2 maybe, actually. What do we want? 2251. Yeah, throw one of those in there. And then we go 230. Let's use 1907. No, we don't want modern. We don't want stuff that hasn't been seen yet. What are we in? 1982. So we can get one of you, and I guess one of you in there. Yeah. And then maybe just get some trees going around the back. Yeah, skip collisions. Ooh, no, not that strong. Get some trees going around here. Make this area feel a bit more grown. A bit more grown in. Give me a weak brush and just kind of sprinkle some trees around. Sprinkle some trees in around here. Then we're going to go with small brush, max strength, and we're going to run just down these rails and make sure there's no trees or anything grown in the tracks. Nope. And yeah. Well, that just adds that extra little bit of character to this area. It's a nice little siding, some locos, some wagons. Just a collection of freight cars here. That just adds that little bit of character that you don't really get in places. And while we've been doing that, we have got quite a bit of money saved up. But I think we're going to use that for next episode mostly because, well, I'm not sure what we're going to do with Seven Oaks right now for freight-wise. But we are reaching that half-hour mark on the episode. So, yeah, no, you know what, we'll see if we can throw a freight station in somewhere around here. What, it's coming out, it's coming from here. So, ideally, we'd want to... you know, if we do an external station from Seven Oaks, put the station outside of Seven Oaks, kind of like this. Using the tracks we've just put in as kind of like buffer or whatever. Do something like this. Take up that switch there, something like that, and then we have it split down here somewhere. So we're using mostly the passenger line to get the freight over here. But that's a lot better way to do it, a lot more of a realistic way to do it. Obviously, I know I want to keep these separate somewhat because of the speed differences in the wagons and the locos between the two lines. But I reckon it won't be too bad. Not enough that it's going to be kind of like ruining everything for me to do it this way. You get rid of these signals there and then move them just a little bit down the line. And then hook Seven Oaks through to South End, kind of like this. I want to run you straight, best as I can. Keep you elevated enough that, yeah, we can get a bridge out of this. Like that. Purely because that makes it a lot easier for then cutting straight through a mountain. What kind of tunnel do I like? Not that, that's too irony. That's too new. We're gonna go with this one. This is the one we went for before, but we're gonna go with it again. Just because it looks best. Get signals along this. We only have one freight train for right now, but get the signals on there anyways. And then we can hook up the freight main line to all of this. Mexborough, back to Seven Oaks. I think we want to swap. Yeah, we want to swap those. Swap you over. Go left, Seven Oaks, and then back into Southend. And there we have it. We have our line is now extending all the way down to Mexborough. Which means that the food coming out of the fish line has somewhere to go. In here. And then later on, we can hook hook up the Mexborough freight. We can hook up Seven Oaks freight, but that will all be next episode. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all again very soon. And if those of you who watch this could subscribe, that would be great, because it's something like 20% of you who watch my videos that are subscribed. I would really appreciate it if you could all subscribe, given you've made it this far in the episode. Leave a like, leave a comment down below. I appreciate all of your interactions. But as for now, adios guys, and I hope to see you all again next week. Bye bye for now.